Hey, welcome to another episode of Coffee Break with Pam. Today, I want to answer one question I am asked quite often, which is how do I start in writing a comprehensive marketing plan? What is the preparation step that you need to take to make sure that you get yourself ready before crafting your plan? After this short video, you'll completely understand the list of questions that you should ask and that you need to do before you start your planning effort. By the way, I created a three-part series on how to create a marketing plan. Look for best marketing plan and templates in my YouTube channel. All right, now it's on the top so you can see that. But again, you can basically type the best marketing plan and templates, comment Pam Didner, you should be able to find it. By the way, my coffee break is a series that's syndicated to LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you miss any of my live streaming like now, you can always see the archive of recorded video on the Pam Didner YouTube channel. If you like the way I explain things, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and comment below. Love to hear from you. All right. By the way, you can see like it's kind of empty in my background. I'm actually moving. We are in the process of selling the house, but you know what? A lot of work, but it's going to be a brand new chapter. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get started about what are some of the steps you need to take before you start creating your comprehensive marketing plan. You know what? Many marketers are doers like me, and our minds are racing all the time and thinking about how to plan, how to get things done quickly, cheaply, and effectively. The planning process usually starts with a list of a question that you should ask yourself to get ready. So think about how you have to plan. The truth is literally planning for the sake of planning. But that's the important part, right? Before you plan to cook a holiday feast, you need to identify, the delicious dishes that you want to serve, right? So that's a planning to plan your holiday feast. You should do the same thing actually for the marketing plan as well. And there are several questions you need to ask. Essentially, a great plan is to address your stakeholders and your audience's questions. What kind of questions do they have? You address them. At the same time, you provide your recommendation in terms of what you need to do. And here is the holy grail of a preparation process and the corresponding questions to ask. And I divide it into three major buckets, and I'm going to go through that with you. Number one is what is the objective of your plan? Number two, what is your audience for your plan? And number three, what is the overall concerns of your audience, right? So these are the three major buckets that I want to go through. So I start with number one. What is the objective of your plan? And a lot of time you created a plan for a reason. You are either looking for additional budget and resources, or you are created to align with everybody, all the counterparts within your company, or even you create a plan to brief your agency partners. So understand your objective is going to help you determine what type of questions you're going to ask and also what elements need to be incorporated into your plan. Number two, who is the audience of your plan? Are you creating the plan for the C-suites and the senior management? Are you creating the plan just for your direct manager? Or you are creating a plan to rally everybody, which is your internal stakeholders, from the product team down to the PR, down to actually your sales team? Or you just creating your plan just, for the marketing peers? So who is the audience? You may have multiple audiences. That is totally fine, but make sure that you have segments that address all their needs. And that takes a little bit of time, but in general, all of them have a common asks and also common concerns. And that's what I want to talk about as the next one. which is what are the concerns of your internal stakeholders and your audience. There are many, by the way, and I'm going to go through some of the major questions that your internal stakeholders and audience usually ask. Number one, what is the overall competitive landscape or the trend-specific insights? It doesn't matter if it's a C-suite or a product team. They always want to know, hey, what's going on outside of our company? What are some of the marketing trends that we need to be aware of? What are some things that the competitors are doing, we are not doing, or we are also doing, say, better? Right? So share some of that insights with your internal stakeholders to educate them what is going on outside your marketing organization and also in the competitive landscape. Number two, how do we measure success? What are the primary metrics and the secondary metrics? How do the marketing organizations, say from the corporate marketing team down to the product marketing team down to a geo marketing team, how do we measure our success? And what are some of the metrics? In general, the senior management would like to know how you measure your success. Number three, what strategies and key tactics are needed to accomplish our business goal? In the marketing organizations, there are stuff we do for the marketing outreach to build the brand awareness and to retain the customers, to also create potentially new prospects, right? So those are objectives in terms of getting the new customer to achieve the business goal or bring additional revenue, right? And so you understand your business objective and what are some of the strategy you set up to support that. Objective is what, and the strategy and tactics are how. How are you going to do, from marketing's perspective to achieve that business goals and also the revenue goal, right? So identify some of the strategy and also key tactics that you will do, and trying to find that balance. You don't want to give them a laundry list of the marketing tactics that you would do, right? So trying to find that balance in terms of the strategic initiative that you want to share and also all the detailed things that you will do. See if you can find that balance to share with your management and stakeholder in terms of the marketing campaigns or the marketing plans that you will accomplish, right? So it cannot be too high level, it cannot be too detailed. So that is the challenging in terms of creating a plan. If you are the global company, a lot of time you have a priority countries and languages. Obviously, you cannot market to every single country and also and create content for every single language. So, what are some of the priorities that you have to take into account, right? And that usually associated with revenue, right? And also the new segment or new area that you want to tackle in the next 5 years. In general, country and language priority has a lot to do with the revenue goal. And if you break down the revenue by countries, you should be able to align a lot of your marketing's country priority and language priority along with that revenue. But sometimes the existing revenue will not take into account the new territory you want to go after. In that case, you need to understand the new territories and new region you want to go after in the next 5 years to take and to determine what are the future content you need to create to support that. So that is the country and language priority. The next one has a lot to do with content, right? So what kind of content you're going to support launches, campaigns, and also the sales team. And this is especially important for B2B marketing and also the products and services that you sell that has long purchase cycle. So in order to engage with your prospect, you need to think through in terms of what content is needed to make sure that happens as a part of the purchase journey, right? The same as the content is messaging. Right? Before you create content, you also need to know what is the talking points, what are some of the key differentiators, and also the messaging pillars that you want to dial up or dial down. Many products have tons of features that product marketers would like to actually ask the marketers to speak about. If you have a 100 features, you cannot talk about 100 features. You have to focus on 305 and then dial that up. That's the base. That's the base of your messaging framework. So creating messaging is super important. So if you are interested in messaging and also messaging framework, I actually created a 32-minute webinar, how to create the messaging framework that resonates. It's a DIY, and I also attach templates that you can use. So check out that video. There are some additional questions I want to share with you in terms of what your stakeholders will ask. For example, what challenges will you encounter in implementing, say, content marketing or any kind of marketing effort, right? Nowadays, the digital takes the lead. If you do any digital marketing, that means the backend system needs to be integrated for you to track like the prospects moving from one stage to another. In order to actually implement the digital journey or tracking the touch points, you need to make sure the backend is integrated, right? So if that is not integrated, then that's a challenge. You need to actually communicate that as a part of your plan, because to make sure the back is integrated, it does take resource and the budget to make that happen. So the challenge is you need to talk about that as a part of your marketing plan. If you try to align your marketing plan with your team, with the agency, it's very important to identify who should do what and when. And that's kind of like a detailed plan. It also depends on what kind of marketing efforts and also marketing recommendations that you are presenting. You need to talk about who will be doing what. Again, at a higher level, it's not sharing the Gantt chart in terms of who is doing what in the detailed timeline. Can you bring that up and make that a little bit easier for people to understand if you're trying to align the stakeholders? Lastly, how much money do you need? If you want to create a plan, great, 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 but marketing is not free. You need to share with your management and also your manager and the sales team in terms of how much money you will spend or how much money is required to do your marketing effort. In addition, one last question. You do need to talk to your stakeholders to find out what other concerns they may have, right? Like I said, crafting a marketing plan, on one hand, you need to share your recommendation, what you think your company needs to do. The other thing, the other purpose is to address your stakeholders' questions. Ultimately, you need to find a balance to do that. You need to answer their questions at the same time, showcase what you will do to make the marketing outreach and also your company successful. I hope you enjoyed today's coffee break. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and join me next time for a brand new topic. It's wonderful to see you. Like I said, have any questions, comment, and subscribe below. Love, love, love to hear from you.